Oh, hey, sup, it's Ralphbob.
Oh, hey, sup, guys. I wanted to do a simpleton's guide to how corruption works because there are a lot of new people coming back to the game after a while. I have a couple friends, a couple people coming in the stream asking me what to do with gear and how to optimize your gear and what the hell to do with corruption because they've gotten corruption pieces and they don't know how to get resistance. They don't know how the corruption system works, and they don't know which ones are the best. So I'm gonna just give a simple breakdown. So here's my character. I have a few corruption pieces here, but that doesn't really matter right now. You got to look at the little eyeball next to your gear score, and that'll tell you your max corruption and what your resistance is and how much you have. So the farther down the corruption list, the more bad things are going to happen to you, to the point where if you hit 60 to 80, you're going to have a bad time, especially as an alternate character that you're leveling up. I leveled a mage and I had some pretty good corruption effects given to me pretty early. I didn't even have my cloak yet, and I was just getting slammed by these eyeballs that appear and the things from beyond, like the little ghost guys that appear. It just is almost unplayable. So you have to be very careful when getting these corruption effects, but also you don't want to cleanse your corruption effects because you don't know if they're going to be good or not. Certain ones are okay, certain ones are way better for other classes. Because my friend, very fresh 120, got a piece of gear that had tier 3 corruption piece of Twilight Devastation, which is actually really insane, and I'll go over those right now. So we're here on Wowhead, and this gives a good corruption guide overview. Most of the corruption effects are passive. I'm pretty sure 100% of them are. The only thing that's engaging about this system is the actual bad effects that you have to avoid or deal with. So most of them are passive. So this is all the passive effects you can get: avoidance, haste, mastery, crit, versatility, leech, crit damage, and healing, glimpse of clarity. So these are all passive effects that just kind of affect your secondary stats, which in some cases these are going to be your best option. For fire mage, probably frost mage too. The mastery one is actually really insane. It's really, really good, just because mastery is so good for those classes. Avoidance for tanks, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't really tank very much. Versatility is not bad for demon hunters. Proc stat effects. So these are things that have a chance to happen. Your spells and abilities have a chance to increase your haste by 546 for 4 seconds. So these things go off and then they last for a certain amount of time. This one, crit proc, your critical strikes have a chance to increase your critical strike by a certain amount for 15 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. So if you're really looking for what is your best secondary stat and how do you stack it to your best ability, like what is the best thing that you can get? Generally, the just static, pure 12% increase to certain things is probably the best option. Procs aren't bad, but in my opinion, the unique effect affixes are probably the coolest. And in most cases, especially for the character I play, I main a demon hunter right now in this expansion, and a lot of these unique affixes are probably the best for me and generally probably pretty good for most melee characters. Infinite Stars is probably the best single target DPS that you're going to get. If you find a rank 2, rank 3, or even rank 1 of an Infinite Stars, this is going to dramatically increase your damage. Insane. I want to show you this. Over here at Warcraft logs, we're looking at complexities. It was about a month ago in March this happened, but this is a Mythic Rathion fight that they did. We're gonna look at Evade. His top damaging ability was Infinite Stars. 15% of his damage towards Rathion, and everything else was just his normal stuff. We have a Twisted Appendage here that is also corruption effects. but you can see infinite stars is actually pretty insane for single target DPS. Ineffable Truth is pretty good for most people that have high cooldowns, so your spells and abilities have a chance. Show you the truth, increasing your rate of cooldown recovery by 30%. Good for Metamorphosis, Eye Beam, and other stuff like that. Twilight Devastation is huge for Mythic Plus. Your attacks have a chance to trigger a beam of Twilight Devastation, dealing damage equal to 12%. So it goes 6, 12, 18. 18% of your health. It just blasts groups of mobs. It's insane. If you get a Twilight Devastation, I currently have tier 2 right now. Twisted Appendage is good. It's not, I don't think it's the best, but it's good to have if you have extra corruption effects. Then you can grab this. And I've seen it in PvP too. I've done a couple of arenas where the Mind Flay just eats you. It just eats your character. Gushing Wound as well is really good. I think they just nerfed it though pretty recently, so be careful with this one. I mean, it's not bad if there's only a tier 1. If you have Gushing Wounds, and it's just, oh yeah, will be nerfed by 35% on, yeah, so 2 days ago. It literally says right there. So these are some really good ones to look out for, especially as a Havoc Demon Hunter. So if we look over here, present a list of the best corruptions to purchase from Mother as a Havoc Demon Hunter. Infinite Stars, best single target. We already saw that on Warcraft logs. Twilight Devastation, it's huge for Mythic Plus if you have 12% to 18%. It's just ridiculous. Ineffable Truth is really good. Metamorphosis, Blade Dance, stuff like that. Expedient, really good. It plays a similar role to Ineffable Truth. And then everything else is kind of up to you, as long as you have Infinite Stars and Twilight Devastation on your character. As a demon hunter, and probably as most other melee classes. We can take a look at the logs and check what they're doing as well. You can go check armories on these guys as well and see what they're wearing. There are corrupted weapons that give you specific effects. For me as a demon hunter, the one I have is Unguent Caress. Lash the target with a living tentacle, dealing 122% of your attack power, shadow damage, and snaring them. Really good for arenas, and really good in general, just to have. I've seen Avade or Avade, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He has double of these from the Mythic, so he's wearing both of these. I think whatever your special item is from Nyalotha will probably be your best in slot, most likely. So yeah, those are all the effects. Right now, currently, this is probably going to go away. If you want to go to Mother, there is a rank 1 stars being right now. So if you have an alt character and you don't have any corruption, this is probably a good one to get. It's 5,000 echoes though, so just be aware of that. It's probably the cheapest stars you're gonna get. The tier 3 is probably gonna be like 15,000, 17,000, something like that. I haven't seen it in the vendor yet, so yeah, so fire mages specifically, I wanted to do a ranged and a melee character just to contrast. Fire mage is literally just masterful. Buy masterful 2 if you are up against the DPS check, and that's pretty much it. That's literally it said. Number 2, that's pretty much it. You just get masterful because you just need to stack mastery as these mages. They just do a same amount of damage with their mastery. Strike Through, Honed Mind, Glimpse of Clarity can be useful. Gushing Good was a good option, but it's just better now to do mastery. So if we look at the Warcraft logs and we go over to, let's take a look at Eric. He doesn't have any corruption effects besides the Twisted Appendage is going off. So you can tell like he's just stacking that mastery up. We can go look at his armory too, but let's see. Let's take a look at the balanced druids real quick. Star Surge, Streaking Stars. So yeah, he has got Gushing Wounds on, but no infinite stars, nothing else. He's probably stacking a certain particular stat that is really good for balanced druids. Let's take a look at the hunter. Let's take a look at Sang. He's got infinite stars on, but it doesn't look like it's tier 3. It's probably, that's a tier 2 stars. But you see how much damage it actually still does a lot of damage. Like it's third highest damaging thing. Let's take a look at the Rat Paladin. He's got like rank 1 infinite stars on. And also for certain fights in Mythics, especially in Wrathion where you have to stay still, for a lot of it and then move suddenly. It's good to not stack corruption past 60. I found being under 60 is probably maybe even under 40 for certain fights because of how much damage your corruption effect can do at higher ranks. It can get really nasty if you can't move out of them. If you're playing an unmobile character, you're gonna have a hard time with these corruption effects. So be very careful. If you get a good piece of gear and it has a shitty corruption effect, come cleanse it. You can cleanse it right here. I have a corrupted item to cleanse. You give her that, purify it, and just get that corruption effect off and just have the good item, like good high item level piece with your stats on it. If you're looking for what I have right now, I have gushing wounds here. I have the ungent caress with the living tentacle. I don't know what it's called, like the actual thing, forgot already. Twilight devastation rank 2, infinite stars rank 1, critical strikes just increases the damage and you deal with critical strikes by 3%. It's not bad, and that's it. So I have 5 effects and they're all pretty small. Like my Twilight devastation does 50 corruption. That's probably the biggest one. I really want tier 3 of this. This is what I really want because I run Mythic Plus the most. I don't rate that much, but Mythic Plus I do run a lot, and I would really like tier 3 Twilight devastation. Please, Blizzard, thank you. All right, guys. Never mind, pause, cut that out. If you like the video, please like the god damn it. Fuck! 1, 2, 3. Please leave a like down. God damn it. 1, 2, 3. Please leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment on the video, share it around, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.